Hey everyone, and welcome to today's video. So today I'm going to give you an introduction to Microsoft Visual Studio 2017 as well as Microsoft SQL Server Enterprise Manager, which is for designing and developing databases. Visual Studio from Microsoft has been my IDE of choice for the last 15 years or so. I'm going to give you a tour, basically, on an introduction on all the essential features and menu items and stuff that you'll be doing with Visual Studio. It's just to give you a better idea of how to find your way through developing an application, debugging your code, running the app. Yeah, let's go ahead and have some fun. Let's go ahead and have some fun.
Okay, so I've gone ahead and open up Visual Studio 2017, as you can see here, and it starts out by showing you this start page. And on the left hand side here you'll see Get Started section, and that'll have information and links to all kinds of tutorials and videos and stuff, and news on the software. Then at the bottom of that, just below that, is a recent section, and that'll show you any recent applications you've been working on. Then here in the middle you'll see open, and you have a few options here. You can open a project or solution, open a folder, website, etc. Okay. And you also see your new project. You can actually go ahead here and search for a project template. Now templates are different, are basically different blueprints or placeholders for different kind of projects you want to create. See, I've actually never used this feature here. Let's see if we can find, say, web application. You see here some intelligence coming up here, so you can click here. But actually, I'm going to show you an easier way. We just go to File, New, and you see that you have the option of Project. Okay. The other options here are File Open. You can open up existing projects or solutions, folders, websites, etc. Files. Also from source control. Now source control is beyond the scope of this video, but it's basically about connecting to your code repository, or where you basically your central repository for source code, where you store your projects as a backup, and also as a way to collaborate with more with a team, having a team kind of set up, different people working on the same project or the same code. Okay, you have close here, save all, source control once again, settings, account settings. We won't go into these. So let's go for now and say File, New, and Project. So the new project dialog box opens up, and here on your left you will see a lot of options you have here. Now our language for now is Visual C#. Okay, you will also see, if you have installed other languages such as Visual Basic or C++, Python, or what have you, they will also appear here on the left hand side. So we're going to use Visual C# for now, and you'll see here you have various options, or what they call templates. You have a classic desktop, which will give you access to desktop type of applications. Okay, so it's basically for a standalone application, exe. We are going to go into the web for now, and we're going to select your ASP.NET Web Application .NET Framework. Here we can give it a name. So you can type in your name there for your web application. Okay, and just leave the rest for defaults. Default settings, create directory for solution. That'll just create a folder in this file location here. Okay, add to source control is an optional setting where it will automatically then add it into your code, your central code repository. You're not going to do that for now, so just click on OK. Okay, and then we get another dialog pop up here, and we have the option of creating an empty web application, which will have basically nothing inside of it. Okay, you will have a web forms template. So this is for creating the older kind of web applications where you use ASPX web forms. Then you have MVC, which is kind of where the trend is going. MVC stands for Model View Controller. So it's basically a model view and controller application model. Okay, and then we have Web API, which is an application programming interface. So it's kind of like a service that you'll be creating that runs your code makes it available as an API service that other applications can consume. You also have your single page application, which is if you want to create a kind of HTML5 application type where you will have just a single page when your entire application will be running, and you'll be using a lot of HTML5, CSS, and JavaScript. So for now, we're going to create a basic web forms application. Okay, next in the next video I might be showing you MVC, but for now, just to get started, let's go for the web forms application. Okay, here you'll see is a button for changing the authentication. You can either have no authentication, individual user accounts, which you'll be using. You will need a database to store, obviously, individual user accounts like the username and the password, email address, such. Then you got work or school accounts. We're not interested in this for now, and you have Windows authentication. Now, Windows authentication runs off your AD or your Active Directory, which contains all the users in your network or in your Active Directory of your company, and it will basically authenticate the user based on the current logged on user, the current Active Directory user account. So it will authenticate against that. So for simplicity's sake, we're gonna say no authentication for now. Go OK, and OK again. And we have to wait for a little while, depending on how fast your PC is. Mine is a little bit slow at this stage. So yeah, you're welcome to go and have make yourself a cup of coffee, or maybe something a bit more strong than that. Depending on how you feel today, developing your first web application. Okay, come on, you can do it. Okay, so it's finally opened up here. So here we have on the right hand side you'll see you have a Solution Explorer, and this is the main tool window which will be showing you all the files in your solution. Okay, so you'll see at the top it says Solution My First Web App, and you can actually rename it if you want to. Just displays the name of your solution. And this is the project. Okay, you can add multiple projects in this one solution. Now we're just going to have one project, which is called My First Web App. Okay, you can right click on it and you will get various options here. You can build it, rebuild it, clean, view it in your browser, analyze, convert it into, for instance, a Azure Cloud Service project, etc., etc. You can publish it, which you will be publishing it to either your web server or on your local machine. Okay, you have various other options here, such as add. You can add new item to your project, such as say you want to add a new form, a new screen. You will add a web form, HTML page, JavaScript. Okay, you've got a lot of stuff here. New item will take it to a dialog box where you'll have much more options for adding stuff to your project. Okay, so let's just go through here. Here you will see properties. Okay, this is a default file generated by the IDE, and it will contain your assembly information, which is basically the name of your application. You can put in here all sorts of metadata about you or your company developing this application. Okay, references. Now this will show you all the references, third party or all Microsoft libraries that you will add to your project that you want to use. Okay, these are all default ones. It comes with this web application template. Okay, but if you want to add a third party API or code library, you'll be going here, right clicking and adding a reference here, and you can either browse to it or you can get it from previously installed frameworks, extensions, projects, COM libraries, and what have you. Okay, for now we're not going to add anything here. We'll just go with the defaults. Okay, so so let's have a look at what else we have here. So important stuff here is we're going to ignore these folders for now. Just going to look at the .aspx files. Here, for instance, you see about. If you double click on it, it'll open it up, and you'll see some markup language here. Okay, so this is actually the code scripting or your client side code. If you click on design, then it will bring up the designer for this page. Now this is your about page, and you can use this space here to add and remove visual components from your page. Okay, so here let's change something here in the designer. Okay, let's type here, this is my first web app. Okay, let's click here on save, or you can go Control S on your keyboard. Okay, now if you actually want to run this application, there are various ways to do that. You can either hit the F5 key on your keyboard, or you can go here on Start. Okay, so we'll click here on Start. And wait a little while for it to start up actually. If you get this annoying error, this is actually a known error in Visual Studio 2017. Microsoft is aware about it, but and so apparently they'll fix it in an update or a fix for this. So in the meanwhile, you can just click on OK, Stop your application first and then go to tools menu, options, debugging, general, and then you'll see here's a tick box for enable JavaScript debugging for ASP.NET, Chrome and IE. Just untick that. Okay, and it should be fine from there. Okay, so here it's displaying your about page. Okay, here you can see the changes we've made in the designer. Okay, now it will by default show you the about page because that was the last page we've been working on in the IDE. Okay, so let's close it, and let's select actually the default startup. So that way, no matter what page you've been working on, the default one will come up as you start up your application. Okay. Just before that, let me quickly show you. Here is a browse with option. And it should give you the option of selecting a different browser. Now you'll see just a moment ago, it actually fired up in Internet Explorer. Now I'm not very happy with Internet Explorer, so I wanted to start up in Google Chrome, so I can select it there. Okay, set as a default. Okay, we can actually say browse there. Let's just say cancel for now. Now you see it's changed here to Google Chrome. So now if we start it up, it'll actually open up in Google Chrome. Okay, you can see it opening up here in Google Chrome. Don't pay too much interest to this little bit here. It's just for information purposes while it actually starts up. Some annoying pop-ups there. Okay, come on. Okay, there we go. So it's started up in in Google Chrome. Okay, and you see here it's now showing the default page as opposed to the about page. You also have contact, and this is basically the basic template that by default opens up in the web application. Okay, so let's close that. Okay, so now if you remember, I showed you on the about page your designer, which you can make design time changes here. Okay, you can have drag and drop items from your toolbox. Still busy initializing. Okay, so let's see here, there's some standard controls. There's a button, for instance, you can drag and drop. Okay, then you have a button there. If you actually double click on the button, it'll take you to the code behind. Okay, so let me show you. Now, another option is to click here at the bottom on source, take you to the markup language of this page instead of the visual designer. Now, here you instead of dragging and dropping controls, you can type them into the markup language. And say, for instance, let's be say text box. You want a text box control. Let's add some default attributes here. Let's call it, give it an ID, txt, let's say name. You also have to say here run at equals server to have it run on the server side, not on the client. Okay, and let's say here we want stats for now, text box. Okay, maybe how about adding a label? Okay, like that. Let's give it an ID. Company. Okay, like that. Okay, that means that any code associated with this control, okay, the label or your text box or your button, okay, you see there run at equals server, that means it will be code that executes on your code behind of the page, and it will execute it on the server, not on the client side. Okay, if you don't specify that, then you're going to have to insert some JavaScript here or Angular to have some code execute on the client side on the script. Okay, so for now, we're going to have it run on the server side, and we're going to go to the event. Say for now, we're going to go to the click event of the button. Okay, but before that, we're still busy on this label, so let's just say here the text of the label. Okay, now let's go to the click event. Say view code, right click, view code, and we go into the code behind the page. Now here you will see protected void button 1 underscore click. Okay, this is the click event that will fire when you click on the button. Okay, now we're going to say, so we want to display something in our text box. One text property. Okay, so refer to the name of the text box. Okay, you'll see there, txt company. And we're saying we're using the text property. It's got various properties. We're interested for now only in the text property to set the actual text value. Let's put in our name of the company here. Okay, let's click on. Okay, now before we click on the run button, the play button here, I need to show you something about the build menu. So if we click on build, solution, now it automatically build the solution when you click on the play or the run button. So this will actually build and compile your code to see if there's any errors. Okay, you can see here down at the bottom it says here build started. It's pretty busy actually building the code. Okay, it says build succeeded. Now let's just take away this semicolon and we say build solution. Just to show you what happens when we have an error, it will say build failed. It will actually pop up with a list of your errors. So here we can see semicolon expected, say the project, the file where the error is, and even the line number. Okay, let's go there. Semicolon, and we click on build solution. Okay, build succeeded. So let's run it now and see what happens. Okay, opens up once again on the default page. We want to go to the About and see what we've done here. Okay, so about my application, now you will see your button here and you will see your text box label. So let's go ahead and click on the button. And it will show the text we've entered there, Code Guru. Okay, so that's how it sets the value for the text button, for the text control, text box. Okay, that's something very simple. Let's see what else we can do. Okay, so let's add some more code here. Okay, so let's say, for instance, okay, so let's add another line of code here. Okay, so now I'm going to show you how to actually use the debug menu. So you'll notice here is a debug menu here, and this is for the purpose of debugging or stepping through your code. So what we have to do actually is to set a breakpoint. So take your mouse and you hover it on here, over here on the side. You just click, you see there it toggles a breakpoint. Okay, so let's put a breakpoint there and see what happens. Let's say debug, start debugging. Okay, it will actually build first. Try to build your code first. Okay, once again it starts to open up your browser. Goes to the default page. Let's click here on About. Okay, and click on button. Now you will see here, now actually it makes this line of code yellow now. Which means it's busy stepping through your code or busy debugging. Now you can either click F11 on your keyboard or you can click here next to the stop button. You will see here there's a bunch of controls here. Okay, let's click on this one, step into F11. So now it will actually step onto the next line of code. Click there. Okay, you see it's moved to the next line of code here. You can also hover on over the properties here. Okay, you see here text equals to code guru. Okay, and yeah, what the next line of code does is it's actually going to change the text of the button control. So currently the text is button. Okay, but now we're setting it equal to my company's name is. Okay, so step F11 and let's just click on continue or F5 and you'll notice it actually changed the text of the button. Okay, there we go. Okay, so say now we want to do something a bit more advanced and actually connect your web application to a database where you store some information and you want to display it on your web application. Okay, now what we need to do for now is we have to go to SQL Server Enterprise Manager. Okay, Microsoft SQL Server Management Studio. Okay, now this you can find on your Start menu. See, I've pinned it here to the Start menu, but you can actually go into your all programs and look for Microsoft's SQL Server. I've installed Microsoft SQL Server 2012, for instance. and it'll be a SQL Server Management Studio. Okay, so let's go here, open it up. Okay. Right, so let's see, we click here, connect. Let's connect to a database engine. Now on my local machine, I've installed a standalone SQL Express server. Okay, that is its name, and we're using Windows Authentication, so it's going to authenticate me against Active Directory or against my Windows logon. Click here, connect. And it takes a while to actually connect to your database engine. Okay, here we go. Let's expand the databases node. Okay, let's right click and say new database. Alright, database name. So let's give it a name. Let's call it user accounts. Okay, click on OK. Okay, now say we want to store some user accounts. Say we want to do the authentication for our application. And you want to store all the users inside of a database to authenticate them. So let's create a new table. Okay. Let's create a column name here, and let's say it's going to be called user ID. Data type is a, let's say, you want it to be a number type, and we want it to auto increment. Let's select int. Okay, and remember here to right click on your column and say set primary key. This is going to be the primary key, okay, or the unique key in your table. And just select it again, and here at the bottom on the column properties, let's say we want it to automatically create a user ID for us when we insert a record into this table. Expand your identity specification and select the yes. And you'll say, see here, default is 1. It will start to automatically increment from 1. Okay, so let's add another column here. Let's say username, and we give it a text that type, more specifically varchar. Okay, and this indicates the limit of the amount of characters. So it won't ever be more than 50 for username. Okay, and password. Also make it varchar. Okay. So we want username and password. Now that should do it. Let's click on save, and let's call it here users. Name of our table. Okay, here you will see give you our users. Let's right click it and see select top 1000 rows, and for now it shouldn't have any data in it. So you'll basically be seeing an empty table. Okay. And there's nothing in it for now. Okay. Now let's write some SQL to actually insert a few records here. Just show you how to do that. We're going to use some SQL here. Okay, let's say insert into users. Okay, you'll see it actually brings up some intelligence here. Drop down, you can select. It should be listing your table somewhere. Okay, there we go. Users. Okay, and the columns we're expecting here is obviously user ID, username, and password. However, user ID we don't need to specify as it will automatically create the user ID for us. So we're just going to say username, password. You'll see here it's in blue. Now that means it's actually a reserved keyword in SQL Server. So let's wrap it in square brackets, not to have it be confused. Okay, and the way to insert, to write an insert statement is like this. Let's say we're inserting. So this is a text field, so we started with a single quote, and let's say make it an admin user, and now we're just going to enter a plain text password, admin01. Okay, okay, let's highlight this statement. Click on execute or F5. Okay, we'll say one row is affected, so that means it's just going to insert it a row into the database that you can see. Okay, so we have our basic database set up with our users table, and now we're going to use this as a means of setting up authentication on our website, on our web application. Okay, so let's go right ahead here and actually create a login page. Now we're going to use our own, create our own login page. Okay, so we're going to say right click on the application and say select add web form, and let's call it login. Okay, you'll see by default it opens it up in the markup HTML name. You can also click on design. Okay, so let's go ahead here and do something very quick and easy. We will need a label. Okay, and let's right click and properties. Okay, also will be needing a text box. So this is very quick and dirty, folks. Just as a POC proof of concept, just to show you something very basic. And let's call this text box. Just get into the properties. You see, it's kind of cumbersome, even though it's a usual, it's a user graphic user interface. Let's find the right ID here and we call it txt. Now we've just given it an ID or a name for this control, so we can reference it in the code behind. Okay, so let's now say we also want to create a password box. Let's go ahead and add another label first. Oops, what happened now? space here. Okay, you see that it becomes a little bit difficult. Okay, now you see that doesn't look very good, so let's go into the source and code here and let's do something better than this. So let's go ahead here and add a table. Just to make it a bit more structured. Row. Another one. Okay, so in the first row, let's make a cell. Okay, and put the first label, the username label, right inside here. Okay, we have Visual Studio going into a bit of a tangle. Just give it some time. Okay, anything there. And let's create another cell right next to it for the password. Okay. Sorry, I'm confused here. Yeah. Okay, so basically copy that. Let's put our second label here, and this is going to be the password. And we need another text box here as well. Store the password. Okay, there we go. Let's click on design to see what it looks like. There we go. Username, password. Okay, now we just need a button, maybe for the login, to click to actually log in. Okay. Let's run it and see what it looks like. Okay, what's happening here? It's busy starting up Google Chrome. Okay, so where's our login page? We didn't actually see it. Let's try and find it here in the URL. Okay, there we go. So you can put in your username and password there. Okay, but click on the button, actually nothing actually happens, so we have to add some functionality here to actually make it a real login page. And what we also want to do is we want to restrict the user from going to any other URL in our application without first having logged on. So let's see how to do that. Okay, so we're going to continue with our login page and the authentication for this application. Now remember, in the beginning we didn't select any authentication. We said no authentication. So, and that's because we are going to do it our own way. So what I want you to do is to delete this login page. Let's go delete here. We're going to make it a little bit more organized. And then I want you to go to your project and right click it on the top and then select add folder, new folder, and we call that accounts, and this is where we're going to store everything related to the authentication in this application. And then once again right click on the new folder and select add web form and let's call it login. Okay, so so let's go ahead and add some, click on design view again, and let's design it quickly this time. Okay, you can go here on the table menu on the top and say insert table, and here you get to select the number of rows and columns. So let's go ahead and select 3 rows and 2 columns is fine, and go OK. Okay, great. Now we can go to the toolbox again, and we're going to drag and drop the components onto the form. We need a button, and go to the properties of the button and select your change it to login. Okay, let's just resize this table a little bit. Okay. Yeah, let's try to merge the cells. Okay, so we can actually, no, that's not a good idea. Let's do it this way. Add some columns again. Okay, that is not working. That's why I don't really like working with the design view. Let's go into the code view or the source, and let's do something here. So what we want to achieve, we want to have the button kind of in the middle. So you're going to have to create okay, you're going to have to create another cell or TD. Okay, this it's going to be blank, and let's create another one. Okay, let's see how that works. Okay, that looks better now. It's kind of centered, as you can see. Let's do that. Okay, here we go. Right, so let's drag and drop a label. Okay, that's going to be our username. And another one. Just move it over here. That's going to be password. Okay, now of course we need 2 text boxes. Okay, this one, let's just give it a name. An appropriate ID, we're going to go with the username. Okay, and another one, and this one is going to be for the password, for TSD password. Okay, let's see. We can give it a mask, so that you don't see the password that's entered. Okay, so let's go into the text mode property. As you can see here, currently it's on single line. Let's select password. Okay. Right, let's save everything. Okay, so the next step is going to be enforcing the application to go to the login screen if the user has not yet logged on. How do we achieve that? So we're going to scroll right down and select the web.config file. Okay, and right about here, we're going to insert some markup language here that will tell the application to basically deny the user access um, before he has logged in actually. So, okay, so let's add some code here. Just for the sake of brevity, I copied and pasted in here this section of code. What it basically does is it says authentication mode equals forms, and you're going to give it a login URL, which basically tells it to go to the account folder and to the login page. We set a timeout here, and this is how long it's going to take before the application times out and the user will have to log in again. It's going to take 2,880 seconds. Okay, right. We also have the authorization section here, and we're saying deny users, question mark. So that means all anonymous users will be denied access. They will not be able to access our application. Okay, great. So now that we have this in here, let's test it out. So we are saying we're just making sure that the default page is still startup page, and let's fire it up and see what happens. Okay, so it's busy firing up Google Chrome, and here we go. So let's test this theory now. Let's see if we type in another URL, like say we want to go to the about page, and you see it doesn't allow you. Let's do default, and you can see every time it brings you back here, so you have to log in first. Okay, so now the next step is to actually do the login logic, and so for that we're going to need some code that goes to the database, check for the user credentials, and basically validate against them, and then allow the user to continue or to deny him access. So for that we're going to have to go into the login page code. So double click and open your login, and you can just right click here and go view code. Okay, you see here there's not much code here yet. We basically have a page load event. So let's go back to the page and click on design, and double click on your login button. Okay, and it brings us to its click event. And then you might notice that it says button 1 underscore click. So let's go delete this first. And we rename the button to something more appropriate. Properties. Okay, let's change the ID to say BTN login. Okay, double click again. Okay, something's not happening. Let's go back to this property window and click on this. Okay, that's the reason. Let's just do that. Click again on the click event and you can just double click there and it will generate the code for you. And there is btn login underscore click. Okay, so for that you're gonna need to write some logic here to access your database. And the first thing is you're going to need a database connection, a connection string. So let's go to our web.config file. Okay, and right about here, just below it says system.web. Put in your connection string. So we are creating a connection strings entry here. Okay, add name equals default connection. Now this you can call anything you like to identify your connection string. Make sure to add this provider name equals system.data.client. Okay, that's necessary, and then the actual connection string. And here you will put in your connection to your database. So data source equals what you see over here. This is the actual name of the SQL Server. So if you go to Enterprise Manager, you see here it's got a name here. There you can see you get the name from here. Okay, so other than that, you have to put in initial catalog equals, and this means your database name, user accounts in our case. Okay, here we go, user accounts, and integrated security equals SSPI. Now this is logging onto SQL Server with your Windows username. So it will authenticate you against the Windows Active Directory user accounts. Okay, so the next thing we will need is have to actually write some code. So let's go ahead and put in the logic to connect to our database. Okay, right, so let's put that into a procedure, the logic that will actually go and authenticate the user's input with the values in the database table. So let's create a little procedure here. Let's make it a boolean return value. It will return for us a true or false value. See if the user passed or failed. Let's call it validate user. Okay. Right, so let's put in some code here. Going to say okay, that's going to store our actual resulting value. Okay. Okay, so I've just copied and pasted my code here just to save some time. So basically you will see here we have a SQL connection type, and it's got a red squiggle, which means the compiler doesn't find the library. So you will click here and select using system.data client. So that's basically the library in which this type is, this class is found. Okay, we have another squiggle here, configuration manager, and what is it looking for? Let's see, system.configuration. Okay, so this string basically here will get the connection string from your connection string entry in your web.config file. Okay, which is the one right here, and we call it by name default connection. Default connection. There you go. Okay, now we're saying here using con, which is your SQL connection object, equals new SQL connection, and here we've got another problem. What is it looking for? System.data. There we go. So it checks to see first if the connection state is open or closed. If it's closed, it'll open it. Okay, and the next thing you'll need is SQL command, and here you will select all from users. Now this will select all the entries from your user table in your database. Okay, and we will execute that command by using the SQL data reader like this, and we open up a while loop here. So while it's reading, while it's reading data, it will loop. Okay, so if you have say 10 or 20 entries in the database in your table, it'll loop 10 or 20 times depending on how many entries or data rows it finds. So let's put an if condition here. We say if the username, okay, dir refers to the username column in your table if it's equal to whatever the user typed in the username text box, and the password matches, okay, the txt password.text text box value. If it matches, we assign a value of true to our result boolean variable, and we say break out of the loop, and we return the result. So we return true or false, which is default value in case the user is not authenticated. Okay, and so the next step would be then to reference this code from our login buttons event. So here we are going to say if, and let's call this validate user by name. So if validate user. Okay, so if it returns true, we've got a problem here. Okay, there we go. So if you can either say yes, if validate user, or if validate user equals true. Okay, doesn't matter really. Okay, because it returns a boolean, this will amount to this. This will check for a true result. So if the user is validated, you're going to say false authentication. Okay, it's not found here. Let's see what it's looking for. Authentication using system.web.security. Okay, so forms authentication dot. Let's see what is available. Okay, so you say forms authentication dot redirect from login page, and we pass it in the actual username the user just typed in, which is next to username.text. And the second argument in to pass is create persistent cookie. We're going to say false. We don't want to create a cookie on the user's machine. Okay, so let's see what happens if we run the application. Click on play or run to fire it up in Google Chrome. And it'll come up whenever it's ready, of course. Okay, there we go. So let's type in here. What did we do in the database? What did we enter? So we have username of admin and password of admin01. Okay, great. So let's put in here admin. Let's actually test to see if it actually authenticates it. Type in some garbage there and click login, and nothing happens. Okay, let's put in the right password. Click login, and nothing's happening. So let's close this and put a breakpoint and see what's happening. Okay, let's put a breakpoint here and see what happens. Okay, admin. And admin01 as the password. Click login. Let's see what happens. Okay, you are stepping into the code. Okay, it looks like it's finding a match here between what you typed in and what is in the database. Result is true, break, and we return the result of true, and it actually passed. Let's see if we play continue. And there we go. So what happened was probably I typed in the password wrong. I misspelled it. Okay, there we go. So now you can navigate around in your application. Let's close it again and take it for another test. So now possibly we want to display to the user a message if in case the user misspells or types in the wrong credentials. So let's add an else condition here. Okay, so we'll type in a message and say wrong login. Please try again. Okay, let's see. Okay, so let's go ahead and type in some junk here. Okay, wrong login credentials, please try again. Okay, so that gives us a bit more feedback, so as to notify us what happened. Okay, go. And of course, if we type in the right username and password, it redirects us to the default page.